Welcome back to another episode of Full Retard. Today we have more entitled parent stories for you. First up, my mom won't make me dinner because I gave a comeback at her continuous insults by Cryptic Slaves. Forgive me for misspellings as I'm on the phone, plus it happened a few minutes ago. So what happened is my mom told me to clean out my cupboard where I keep my books and stationery, and I missed a refill wrapper in the cupboard, and she started insulting me for how ignorant I was, how shameless, unclean, and disrespectful child I was, even though I do all the cleaning chores in the house every single frickin' day. Then came the time when she had to start making dinner, and she started off by telling me, "Prove me that you're not lazy. Cook your freaking dinner." Now, I don't know how to cook. The best I can do myself right now is instant noodles and other instant foods. I know that's not much for a 16-year-old. Now, there wasn't any at the time, so I told her that, and she replied with, "Oh, only if my son had the brains to learn to cook his own food." To which I replied immediately, and I agree, was wrong, but she insulted me multiple times before this. "Well, I am your son, after all. I didn't choose to be so." And she went out bawling at me, shouting and screaming about how I'm being disrespectful and speaking too much for my age. And my dad got involved and he started shouting at me too. Now, Mom said that she won't make dinner. My dad told me that I can't order in food. I don't have anything to eat, and now I'm peed off. Thanks for listening to my rant. I hope you have a better day than me. Update. My parents are so kiddish that they won't eat tonight just so that they won't have to cook and have to make me food. Note, to the people who posted recipes and giving methods for me to learn how to cook, thanks a lot. I really appreciate the sentiment, and thank you all for the support. Next up, had entitled parent demand a ride from me and her entitled kid got inside my truck by Yamato 159. Happened before all of the lockdown and social distancing. I stopped for my mandatory 30 minutes break, yeah, it's a thing for truck drivers in USA, at empty rest area. I honestly didn't pay any attention to anyone else and just went on Netflix to watch some anime for those 30 minutes. Mid my watch, I get a knock on a door. That's when our entitled kid, for short, shows up. Entitled kid, "That's a cool truck." Thinking it's a Volvo, nothing cool about this garbage. "Thanks, it does the job." Entitled kid, "Can I sit in it?" Sorry, but I don't allow strangers in my truck because this is where I live for at least 9 days. Entitled kid, "I won't do anything bad, just let me in and attempts to open a door. My doors are locked so he can't get in. It's a habit." "Hey kid," I said. "No, so go back to your parents and leave me alone." He runs away and I dread another 10 minutes of waiting before I can drive. I get another harder knock on a door. I look over and it's entitled parent. She is waving at me to open window. Me rolling window down. "Can I help you?" Occasionally I get some RV people walking up and asking how far is the next gas station. Entitled parent, "Why won't you let entitled child get inside truck?" "Well, because this is basically my house and I don't let strangers inside my home." "It's okay. He won't do any harm to you or the truck." "It doesn't matter if he behaves or not. I don't feel comfortable and company doesn't allow strangers inside truck. It's actually true. Insurance won't cover anyone besides me in the truck." "They don't have to know about my son." "Lady, get lost, and I will not let any strangers in my home at all." "Oh, don't worry, it will be fine." Already peed off and seeing entitled child and her other children climbing under my trailer and on catwalk behind cab. Get your family and get lost. I gotta drive now. "That's great. You can give them a ride until next rest area." "Are you serious? Have you not heard what I said?" "Yes, it will be fine." I release my brakes and tell her again, "Get your kids away from my truck. I'm leaving." To what I hear, besides seeing her husband standing right in front of my hood, "No, you will let my kids ride in the truck. I'm done. I'm effing done with this BS." Roll my window and call the cops and explain what is going on. Cops arrive as that woman gets behind my trailer. They talked to entitled parent and she gave some BS story about me. Cop told me after I gave my side of the story and they believed me. Cops asked if I wanted to press charges for them restricting my movement and basically kidnapping me. I said no and asked if they would give her a nice talk about preventing others leave. If I was stupid, she could have pulled pedophile and kidnapping charges on me. Finally, entitled parents, alcohol and football don't mix by not having a G time. Hey Reddit, first time here and I created this account just to share this story. Not sure where it belonged, but since it involves a very entitled parent, I thought it might be a good here. This takes place in fall of 2019 during the American high school football season. Not important that you know the sport, God knows I don't. Only that you understand how popular a high school football game is. For some, it's the high point of their high school career. Warning, this is a bit long. At every football game, our school has our school's rock and jazz band play during game breaks. Me, the drummer, Sam, Jeff, and Richard are the core members of the band, and we spend most of our days talking music and writing stuff to play for the next school event. We are all very passionate about music, and I'm pretty sure we are all looking into going to college for music business. Anyways, we make sure to take the opportunities we are given to play very seriously and with a lot of gratitude. We have a tradition of doing a little jazz while not much at the game is going on and at an extremely low volume, and stop if the game starts back up or if a play is made. Mind you, we are not mic'd and have amps for the guitar, keyboard, and bass, and a portable PA for vocal. Musicians out there would know for a full high school football stadium, this will reach almost nowhere outside of maybe a 200-foot radius where it would be loud enough to distract anything. We are set in a corner about 300 feet from the game and 250 feet from the stand. The first hour we are at the game is spent setting up and doing sound checks. We asked anyone that we would be close enough to bother if they were okay with us setting up, and got nobody opposed where we were. One of the kids near us even ran up and took a picture with us because he loved music. We play our opening song while our players run on the field. Bell Bottoms by John Spencer Blues Explosion, aka the Baby Driver song, during the opening chase scene, and took a short break to let the game get going. We get some drinks and get heading back to our equipment. We finish setting up for the rest of the night and settle into our spot. The first quarter goes fine and our team is up. We notice the other team's parents are upset, so we decided to turn down a bit and not play our traditional PH theme every time our team gets a touchdown. During the quarter break, we break into some light jazz we had prepared a day before, some really easy Starbucks type stuff. Important for later. We were all 16 to 17 at the time, all minors. Enter Entitled Dad. While we play our music, we hear literally screaming from across the field, and we cut the noise. Here comes Entitled Dad running drunkenly toward us.
That's very disrespectful. My son can't focus on his game with this S playing in the background.
I'm sorry, sir. We were asked to be here, and we asked everyone around us if we were bothering them when we first got here. We will try to be more respectful of playing when appropriate.
Why the F are you even here? This is a football game, not a concert.
Sir, please back away. You are making us very uncomfortable. Yeah, dude. We will turn down, but this is an opportunity for us to play music and get people excited about the game. Sorry if we are bothering you.
Unacceptable. If you don't shut down, I'll shut you down. All of the band in some form or another.
Okay, yeah, not cool. Back up, please. Enter Entitled Wife. Excuse me, boys. Your music is not to be played during my son's football game. He's the star of this team. It's our home game, our field, and frankly, not our choice to be here. Though we love to play, if we didn't want to, we would still have to be here. I'm talking to the athletic director.
I'm not. These guys need to leave.
At this point, it's halftime, and there's a bit of a crowd. Most other parents are gathered around yelling at the entitled dad and entitled wife to sit down. They are both heavily intoxicated and losing their cool at the amount of pushback they are receiving. Sam tries to shoo them away. At this point, the dad and wife are yelling explicits, and we decide to not make this a huge issue and pack up. Our principal is walking over along with the football director. Note, it is heavily against the rules at both schools that were present to be drunk or have alcohol at a game, and these people were drunk and had alcohol with them. They are not having it. Entitled wife is very upset with us and swings her cane at me as I walk past, striking me in the shoulder and dropping the cane on the ground. I pick it up and hand it back to her. Is this yours? You dropped it, I say. Entitled wife has 2 words for me. F you. Okay, lady. The entitled dad starts charging at us and is stopped by the football director. We quickly get the drum set and the rest of the equipment into the van to get it back into the band room, and after leaving the field, which is about a 10-minute drive from the main campus where the band room is, we stop at a convenience store and get some drinks and talk about what just happened. We got told from a parent on our way out that the dad is super into football and pushes his kid way too hard. He's a top donor to the school and therefore has a lot of power over the football program and placement of his kid on the team. His kid was originally cut from the varsity and was put on after the dad threatened a lawsuit against the school for discrimination. The kid was half Latino. How was I not surprised? We heard the dad and wife were getting in trouble for their actions and were asked to sit for the rest of the game. There was no way in heck any of us We're going back, though. I'm not the type of teen to pick fights with a drunk football dad and a disabled wife. I'm an average size for a water polo player. Sam and I were also varsity polo players and had no chance of standing up to the bowling ball of a 6'3", angry drunk, trailer park-looking guy. There is some justice, though. We got a report the next day. The dad was arrested for assault on an elderly lady at the game. Entitled wife was too drunk to stand and did not get involved in the fight. Apparently, a family from our team was cheering obnoxiously, and the entitled dad had enough of our team in school. He full-on attacked a 75-year-old grandmother of our star player who has gotten emails from some top colleges for football recruitment and was immediately arrested and taken into custody for the night. In a county 2 hours away from his kid's school, we were asked the next day if we wanted to press charges, especially since one of us was hit by the wife and could take her and the dad to court. None of us wanted to pay for the court fees because in less than 2 years we would be going to college and the offense wasn't big enough towards us to have a significant financial gain. Any money we would win in the case would likely not pay for the attorney we would need, so we said no. The dad was sentenced to 3 years in county prison, and the kid was able to get counseling with his mother, and they are doing much better. I think entitled dad and entitled wife are getting a divorce. The next game, we replaced the lyrics in bell bottoms during the instrumental break. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I've got to tell you about the most fabulous, most groovy bell bottoms with thank you very much to the parents who assaulted us at the last game and got themselves arrested. We also want to give a shout out to our star player for handling themselves so well and playing a darn good game last week. We are never going to stop playing for y'all. Now I'm going to tell you about the most fabulous, most groovy bell bottom. Don't get in trouble and actually got praise from our student section and principal. Everyone cheered around us and the football team gave us a standing ovation after their warm-up. Sorry this was so long and maybe a little anticlimactic, but it was crazy to live, especially as a 16-year-old kid. F you, entitled dad. Don't drop the soap, bud. Thanks for listening. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Subscribe to our podcast and like us on Facebook.